Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trip Man Multiverse with your host, the basically female version of Mars Morales from Jersey City, Carl Charles, and
the Pakistani girl of the Arabian name, Siwa Chong.
which means Marvel.
Spoiler for the end.
Yeah. Oh yeah, crap. And
well,
we are.
no, it's not really. I wouldn't. it's not really much of a spoiler.
No.
To
be fair, Google.
They just make sense of stuff that you don't. They do call out something, and then they make some sense of it as well. But we'll get that in just a second.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're going to be reviewing Miss Marvel, the latest Disney Plus Marvel show.
So just briefly before you get the spoilers, we'll just say, did you like? I mean, I liked it. I have to say, I actually quite enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah. There was some parts right later on where it was like, okay, I think they're heading to this point with this particular thing, and it was. And sometimes predictable is not bad, but I was like, that section didn't seem to. It was a bit. It was in there, and then you're like, and then it was done and dusted, and then they back to wherever they left off. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. And I was like, they didn't really need that in there though. Really, it was a little bit of a filler. But yeah. But I did enjoy the kids being kids. I mean, they're 16-year-olds or whatever.
Yeah.
And their parents and their relationships and stuff like that. Like, it's different, but it's similar to stuff we've seen before, but also different.
Yeah.
And it's quite funny, though, because I was reading something, not about a review of this, but someone was saying that... have you seen The Little Mermaid?
Yeah, I've seen Little Mermaid, yeah.
Okay, so... someone was just making a meme saying, when you're a kid and you're watching Little Mermaid and you see Ariel doing the stuff she does...
Yeah.
And Poseidon's trying to stop her. Poseidon being the dad. And you're like, you start off on Ariel's side, right? But then when you watch it when you're a parent or older yourself, you're like, Poseidon is actually very reasonable.
Yeah, he's onto something.
He
had points.
Yeah, Ariel's just, but this is the same similar thing here. It's like, you can, I mean, I'm watching them, I'm like, I can see it from both the parent and the child perspective here. And it's kind of well done in that way.
Yeah.
But it's just no bad decisions or anything like that. It's just like sometimes you make a little emotional decisions when sometimes you have to make a logical one, but that kind of is awkward as well.
Yeah,
because someone might be offended from that.
Yeah,
and as your kids are, I mean. Yeah.
That's superhero fuel.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not supervillain fuel. That one little thing a parent did to you.
Well,
changed your life forever.
Oh no, right? They can go both ways. Could go good, could go bad, depending on what they did. If they didn't allow you to eat them sweets when you were a kid, and then you're like, you know what? Yeah, I hate you because of that. That's kind of
Yeah, that's some Dr. Doom kind of stuff.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, so I enjoyed it. You enjoyed it. Yeah,
I really liked it. I was quite emotional at some parts. I was like, but.
I have to say as well, I mean, the first couple of episodes gave me the vibe of Scott Pilgrim versus the World, because you get the people talking, and you get explanations, and then you see like animated drawings in the background and stuff like that. It's a shame they didn't really continue it on throughout, but sometimes it's more serious, and you can't really have that.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the first two episodes have more of it, and you're like, it fits within the vibe of these kids doing their kid stuff.
Yeah. And then when it gets serious, I can kind of see why you don't have it, because it kind of takes you out of it. You're like,
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Right. Yeah, I mean, there's other things I would say, but then we'll just get into spoilers. So, let's go into the main bulk of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Overall, with spoilers, some of the changes I was okay with.
Yeah, like her powers. I was as well, because I was like, right, so she wants to go Avengers Con. Actually, I do like the way that they work it in, how she gets her costume and all that stuff as well.
Yeah.
She makes it, so Kamala Khan wants to go Avengers Con, right?
Yeah.
16-year-old Kamala Khan, which I have to say, this girl does look, I mean, I think she's 19 or something like that, but she doesn't look like, she doesn't look like, playing the character, she doesn't look like a over 20-year-old playing a 16-year-old,
I would have legit thought she was like 14.
Yeah, well, the actual actress is 19.
Oh, yeah, but
But still, yeah. I mean, she looks like a kid, is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Not too much of a
No.
kid, but you know,
Yeah.
not like Tom Holland now, who looks like a fully grown man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're Spider-Man now, so hey.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she make her costume to go to Avengers Con. Her parents, being the Muslim parents they are, and trying to look after their kid, of course. I'm not saying stereotypical. I'm just like, we have to watch out for our child. You can't. We won't allow you to go out. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Look how ladies are dressed nowadays. Them low cuts and whatever.
Yeah.
And she goes, yeah, but I don't dress like that. I mean, you can't be trusted. You know, the fearful of the world is not the fearful of the world, but just like, you know, parents stereotypical. Don't want your children to end up being. And then she's like, well, if it was my brother, you would let him go. And she storms off because just Avengers Con, man.
Yeah, man, she needs to be there.
Yeah, and next day her parents are like, you know what? Fair enough. We heard what you're saying. So you could go Avengers Con with your dad, right? I made and Mom's like, yeah, I made a suit for you. Look at it, and it's a green Indian looking suit. Well, okay, it's like a blend between like an Indian style costume, dress wear, but green colored with padded muscles, so it's a Hulk.
Yeah.
And then dad comes in and said, yeah, we could go as Hulk, big Hulk and little Hulk. She's like,
that's not a thing.
yeah, not only that, right? She's already made her Captain Marvel costume, which for a cosplay costume looks really good, actually.
Yeah. It's authentic.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like authentically made fan costume. Yeah, but not like professionally made cosplay costume. Yeah. I like that detail, by the way. They make it like perfect. And basically she said, oh no, please, it'd be so embarrassing. And then she basically offended her parents. That's like, you've hurt
my feelings.
Yeah. And he really sells it, actually.
Mum's I was quite sad. I was like, oh.
Yeah, Mum's like, the mum's like, look, you either go with him or you're not going at all. And then basically after she leaves the room, he's got his head down, like, you know, I just tried to hang out with my kid and stuff like that. And she called me an embarrassment. Like, Kamala, you're not going. I know he does like a little bit out of spite, but at the same time, it's literally he got disrespected so hard there as well.
Yeah,
so he kind of And she's like, oh damn it. And then she makes her plan.
Oh, that plan was amazing. Yeah.
She talks to her friend, help her make the costume, and basically said, all right, what we're gonna do is this, right? And she lays out the plan of how they're gonna catch. But she's got to climb out the house. She's got to jump on her bike, meet him at a certain point. They'll catch the bus. They'll go to Avengers Con, and they do what they do. They'll come back at a certain time, and she can sneak back in her room and pretend to be asleep all this time, right?
Yeah.
And her plan just falls completely apart as soon as she steps out of the window.
She just breaks the tree branch that she's meant to swing on.
Yeah, then she's like, oh no, it's my way back in. How am I supposed to get that? Anyways, she misses her bus, and then she loses her bicycle because she can't get on they catch the next bus and basically just don't get her bike on in time. Get to Avengers Con. Missed out that her grandmother sent a box of items from India, wherever they were. From
Pakistan. Yeah.
No, but wherever they are at this point. And and the mum's like, just put that stuff in the attic.
Some information about Jersey.
Oh, wow.
Jersey is the largest of the Channel Islands.
What's going on
between England and France.
Google. I've no idea what did that.
Dependency of the United Kingdom, with a mix of British and French cultures. It's known for its beaches, trails, inland valleys, and historic castles.
Cut out.
The Jersey War Tunnels complex, in a former hospital excavated by slave labourers, documents the island's 5-year German occupation during World War II.
Alexa's listened to you clearly.
I didn't even say anything to activate it, but okay, cool.
All right. So they got the trinkets or whatever you want to call it, gifts. However, Mum's like, just put them away. They're just junk.
They're silly. Yeah.
But Kamala's like interested in the stuff there, so she like starts taking some of that, like the bracelet out to look at it and stuff like that. And she's got on the cosplay con, it's like you entwine some of your originality to it.
Yeah.
So she was gonna blend some of her ancestry
into a costume.
Yeah, to make it a bit more stand out.
Yeah.
So she took the bracelet with her. And it does look like a nice looking bracelet. I don't know how well it would fit with Captain Marvel costume because it doesn't have textures. It's sleek, right?
Yeah.
But hey, all right. Well, yeah.
But she's wearing a jacket, but like if it was like a sort of something like Spider-Man's costume, it's like kind of tight to the skin, then yeah, you could put it over the arm. But
yeah,
it's a leather jacket. It's not what you put over the arm, but sure, whatever.
Yeah. So they go to the con. They see one of her friends there, who this girl used to be her friend way back when they were in primary school, whatever, US equivalent, grade school.
Yeah.
And they're not friends anymore because they've kind of grown away from each other, but they're not enemies. Like, it's not that bully mentality thing. It's just like this, I hang out with different people now. Yeah, whatever. You know? You go your way, I'll go mine. We just, even though it's one way, Kamala's trying to be this girl, trying to chat this girl, and the girl's like, we're gonna.
Yeah.
But yeah, that girl's there, and she is in the swimsuit Captain Marvel costume. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, Miss Marvel costume, innit? You're like, it's a nod to the old Miss Marvel, who we don't pretend exists ever anymore. Yeah.
Yep. And all the other Captain Marvel costumes look pretty decent as well. Kamala had some light up gloves that she was going to put on.
But proton gloves, or whatever it's called. Yeah.
The Nintendo Power Glove.
Yeah, Power Fist. Yeah.
And she left them in the loo. The girl's toilets when she went to change. So she's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna put the bracelet on, I guess."
Yeah.
Because it's got colors and stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Fine with that logic. And then all the lights, like she's on the Captain Marvel catwalk and the cosplay catwalk. Sorry.
Yeah.
And light stuff. The people's photography lights start flashing at her and stuff there. So she tries to cover her face, and then she calls an energy beam to come out.
Yeah.
And except that people are like, whoa, because
they think it's like part of the costume, and
it's part of the show. It's amazing. And then her friend, obviously can't recognize Kamala Khan, and she goes, that was so amazing. Do you do parties and stuff? You can come to my party, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
and then I think the one of the beams hits a hanging Mjolnir, the Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
And it swings by, and it's swinging down, and Kamala Khan's like, look out to the girl, and then basically the hammer splats the girl. Like, she wouldn't splat her, right? Because it's a prop, it's empty, but it's massive, right?
Yeah.
And I thought it would have catch on the back, but then it swings back, and she's grabbed onto the front of it somehow.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I don't know how she managed to turn around before it came at her, but whatever. And the girl drops from the hammer, and Kamala Khan jumps out. She uses her bracelet thing to create a long, elongated hand.
Yeah.
To catch the girl.
Kind of a nod to her original powers.
Yeah. So like I said, I don't mind they changed the powers. It just kind of made more sense.
Yeah, it does.
First of all, because they got Miss Fantastic, and they are going to use Fantastic Four, so you can't really have the same power sets. Aren't too interesting if the only difference is the color of the person, essentially.
Well, yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I'm just saying to tweak it. I think is better for this purpose.
Yeah.
So because obviously Miles and no, Miles got different powers though.
Yeah, slightly.
Yeah. And he's got a totally different personality from Peter. Well, not totally different, but he's different enough. Anyways, yeah. So she's got Kamala Khan's got a dizzy spell and stuff like that. So her friend has to take her back. They try to take her back to her house. Come back 2 hours later than the original plan.
Yeah.
And the mum's waiting at the door saying, in the room saying, "What have you done, Kamala? What? You're grounded."
Yeah, basically.
You snuck off without telling me. So that was that. Kamala obviously got nothing to say. She's just like, oh well. Yeah.
It happens. Yeah.
Yeah. But then next day she comes in school, all like, I like it. I like what they did, by the way. It's like when she came in school in the first episode, it's like kind of your average Joe-ish.
Yeah. She's kind of like a face among the crowd, like no one really cares.
And then for some reason she comes in and I like it because it's kind of over the top.
Yeah.
But she comes in like, oh, I'm number one. I've got the confidence of the Rock here. I am the Rock, you know.
Yeah.
And she's all like, yeah, you know, finger points and all that stuff, right? It's so funny because it's like people pay attention to it, but they also thinking, huh?
Yeah, they're like, oh. Okay.
But she's in her own world. But you know, they're like, okay,
Sure. Yeah.
yeah. Bumps into a new guy, Cameron.
Yeah.
British accent kind of dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who she's instantly attracted to.
Exactly.
Because he's British accent, that's why.
Yes, it seems. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they go into the lunch area.
Yeah.
And she hears the girl Zoe, her friend from before, who she rescued, right?
Yeah. Zoe Zimmer.
Yeah. She's talking about how I got rescued. I know by this particular person. You know, she's phrasing it in a way like, not that she's a victim or nothing like that, but just kind of, oh, I know this person.
Yeah, that's why she saved me, sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's going to be a party in my house, and I've invited this person, even though she don't even know if this person. I think she's just kind of drawing it for the attention as well at the same time. Yeah, and then she invites the Cameron dude, and Cameron's and then okay, sure. I mean, I'm a new guy, but it seems like, you know, the British accent is attracting these particular girls. And then Kamal Khan's like, if he's going to her friends, right? She's like, if he's going, we're going.
You're like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is also when Zoe gives her first quote unquote superhero name, Bright Light.
Yeah. The bright nightlight, bright light. I don't know.
I have a nightlight or bright light. It's a toy, I know that. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's like, all right, if he's going to the party, we got to go to the party.
Yeah.
Of course.
Like, sure. That makes sense.
Yep. But then, so her and her friend Bruno though are he's helping train her.
Yeah.
Right. With her powers and stuff like that, which is a cool. Like the training sequence is actually pretty cool. They're learning stuff as they go along, to fine tune what she needs to know, like and stuff. It's like, I want to say it's a bit similar to the Shazam training sequence, but it only makes sense because first of all, you're kind of kids and you need to you kind of want to make them mistakes.
Yeah.
But in a controlled environment.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then you as the audience also learn how her powers work as well. So
yeah, pretty cool.
And then she. They're like, oh, wait, but you got to train as well, right? And then she starts doing running laps and squat jumps and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and she's all puffed out and stuff like that.
That threw me off. That's quite funny because you don't really see that in other things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, oh, yes, I guess you don't have super strength.
Yep.
That was cool.
Yeah. So, yeah. Cameron, I think she bumps into him later on.
Yeah, the party. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like doing a 450 dive with his top off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's got the body of a child.
But as soon as he does his 450, the police come.
Yeah.
And so everyone's got to get away. Yeah. So they get away. He's calling her friend. So her friend's Bruno. Cameron calls him Brian.
Yeah.
And you're like, is he deliberately doing that?
Yeah, because at first I thought it was like a weird power move thing.
Yeah.
But then later on you find out.
Yeah. So, damage control.
Yeah.
Come to Zoe's house because social media. As a kid, when that age, right? For some reason, social media popularity and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm friends with Nightlight or whoever. Damage control come over there and say, look, we're gonna enhance interrogation. No, they didn't really enhance interrogation. They were like, we are gonna find out information from you, aka throw you in the cell. And no, really. What they do just basically put in that mirror interrogation room, right?
Yeah, and try and befriend her and that stuff.
Yeah, it's the same dude from Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Is that the same dude?
Yeah, the guy with the beard, right?
Yeah, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, the one who tried to trap Ned Leeds.
Yeah, that makes sense though.
The only thing this Zoe seems to know though is that this nightlight girl is Asian, Indian Asian, or that sort of brown skin, right? That's all she knows. She don't know nothing else.
Yeah, she's
Kamal had a mask
South
on.
Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Asian diva starts going to the mosques and trying to find out. This is where I was like, okay, I'm looking at it, right? And I'm like, straight away, I'm like, that female agent must have something against the Muslim community or that.
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, not a race, like a.
Not racist, but there's something there.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, so you immediately go to a particular group of people, even though there's other options of other people.
Mm-hmm.
You're like,
you could have went to a temple for the Hindus. You could have went to a shrine.
I'm going to go for the Muslims right away.
Yeah.
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 Not that she was wrong. Not that she was wrong, though. Right?
No, but it's still a bit questionable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if they showed her going to like a temple and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, fair enough. She's got to this point. But she went straight there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bit controversial.
Yeah. And but it's kind of funny that she was right.
Yeah.
So, but later on, Kamala ends up so the mosque party that happens later on, right?
Yeah.
Because her friend is sorry?
The part of the Eid celebration, yeah.
Yeah. And some kid is climbed okay. I'm not exactly sure by my logic. What's he doing on the clock tower that was opposite end of the street, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess he was just filming it on the top of it, whatever, right? Social media kids, right? And he drops and he's hanging onto the edge of the like the ledge.
Yeah.
And Kamala has to put on a Captain Marvel cosplay Captain Marvel costume and rescue the guy.
Yeah.
So she starts making in her practice sessions, because she can't really control the crystals. She does it like Super Mario, where she makes the and Sonic, the little platforms. Doesn't go super smooth.
No.
But it's great. It's a great fumble, because you're like, not that she won't rescue him. It's more how she's going to do it, because obviously she can't you're going to have a boy die right at the beginning of this, like her career or stuff like that. But
that would be a dark turn. But
but it's just like one of those where you're like, you know what? I wonder how she's going to do it, because she doesn't have super control over it either, and I wonder how much tension there is. And it was quite a bit of tension actually, because you're like, oh, Kamala, come on. Like, because I think the crystal fumbles a couple of times and stuff there, and but then she rescues the kid. She managed to rescue the kid. She runs off into the night while everyone's like, all of the people are celebrating her. She runs off into the night, hopping away. As you do on her bright coloured crystals in her red and yellow and blue Captain Marvel costume in the night sky, whatever, right?
Yeah. Hilarious.
Yeah, but then the damage control drones chase after her.
Yeah.
And she and I mean, what? By the way, this is where I'm like that lady agents are racist, because Kamala Khan just rescues someone, right?
Yeah,
and then you're just chasing her down, trying to shoot her. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's like she just did she basically just saved the child. She just shown that she's not evil whatsoever. But all right, cool.
Oh, I know. I want to say it was racist. Where she made her assumptions and just stuck to her guns.
Yeah.
Because she's already come up with what in her mind what it is, rather than let the evidence tell her.
Yeah, which is pretty sucky. But yeah.
So she gets rescued by Cameron.
Yeah.
Or something special by this guy, right?
Yep.
And his mother, who is like, I've been waiting for you all this time. ... So, special. Yeah, exactly. So the mother explains to the mother fills in some backstory and basically saying she's a dinge.
Yeah.
Which is a
djinn. Yeah.
A djinn. Sorry. Yeah. Silent D at the beginning of it, just like Django.
Yep.
Yeah. And her great grandmother was one of the they came from another planet. No, another planet?
Another dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the bangle that her grandmother that got sent to Kamala Khan from her grandmother is the thing that has the powers.
Yeah.
Well, it can access the dimensions. Is what they're saying. So you're like, all right. So is the powers from Kamala? Is the bangle what allows her to access the powers, or is it like like Thor's hammer? It's the thing that tempers it and allows her to control it.
I think it's more like that, or it enhances it.
Yeah, or maybe allows her access to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we'll get there at the very end, right? Specifically, but that's what when I was watching, I was thinking, oh, is this how they're going to do it? Because she obviously didn't have powers before the bangle, so are they going to make it within her, or are they going to make her power because of it, or something like that? But yeah, so basically, they're like, Cameron's mother's like, yo, so you can return us to our dimension, right? But we'll let you think about it, right?
Yeah.
You help us, we'll help you. And Kamala's like, okay, all right, that's cool. I mean, you did help me after all, so I got to get back, but we'll discuss this more.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. And because Kamala's brothers get married.
Yeah. Her brother, I love her brother. He's the best.
Yeah. He's like a goof, but like obviously he's not dumb. He's like silly a bit, but he's just kind of like your goofy older brother sort of thing going on. Yeah. So I enjoy him as well. He's quite fun. But she's got to go to the wedding, and so they're having the wedding there. Cameron's like, Cameron's mother's like to Cameron, well, she's going to help us whether she likes it or not.
Yeah, and like this sort of heel turn happened quicker than I thought. Like, oh wow, they're not playing games at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. She's going to help us whether she likes it or not, and she's going to die helping us. Yeah. Cameron's like, what do you mean? She's like, well, that the power that needs from that bangle to create the portal, she ain't going to live after that. Yeah. And he's like, right.
Making a mistake. Yeah. Like,
well, here's the thing I was thinking, right? Did he befriend her because of the bangle? And like, was he a mole set up to befriend her all that time? Which he kind of was, right? But is he only there to befriend her? Or was he actually trying to, was he actually enchanted by her? And he's like, I'm actually attracted to this lady.
I think it's that, because like, if it was the other way around, he would have like kind of betray his family and that to help her.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't necessarily attracted, but it's more like I'm genuinely want to be this girl's friend.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Because if it wasn't, he was like a proper mole stuff. He would have just let it all go ahead, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. So he goes to the wedding, right? And he basically finds Kamala and says, "My family coming here. You need to get everyone out of this wedding now because my family's coming here to take that bangle off you." And she goes, "Wait, what? What do you mean?" She goes, "Well, look, that thing's, if you open a portal for them, you're probably going to die.
Yeah.
And they're going to make you do it. Because you're going to obviously realize you're dying. Yeah. They ain't going to let you stop." And it's like, okay. And then you see them entering, like, the Cameron's family. Well, not their family, the Jin.
Yeah. The other Jins.
Yeah. And she then runs over, pulls the fire alarm, and then runs off. So they chase after her while everyone else is going somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Even though she doesn't even know how to fight. Like, she doesn't have to fight whatsoever, right?
No. But
she's still luring them away so everyone can get off in another direction.
This shows that she's a hero. Yeah.
Yes. And then she has quite a funny fight with them as well. Because they're thrown all over the place, but she's like using the abilities that she does know to gain advantage.
Yeah.
And then Cameron, I believe he comes and helps her at the end. Well, no, he tries to help her, gets jabronied. But that's fine. What do you expect? He's trying to fight his mum, right?
Yeah, exactly. And she's like 1,000 years old with military training. So what's he gonna do?
Exactly. And what happens next?
I think after that, they get away, but this is when Kamala's friend Nikia, who we've got to talk about, she finds him outside the wedding reception. He's like, "You didn't tell me." She's like, "We're gonna talk about this later." She's like, "All right, take this,
exactly.
go that way."
Bruno got injured in helping them.
Yeah.
And exactly. As you
Another
said.
character I really like. I like her in this. So she's got.
I have to say all the people playing kids.
Yeah.
The kids. I enjoy. I thought they were done pretty well. I mean.
Yeah.
For kids that when you were watching Spider-Man No Way Home, right?
Yeah.
And you have to be reminded yourself, Spider-Man's supposed to be 18 or something like that.
Yeah.
But some of the decisions he makes are a bit too rash for even someone who's supposed to be a teenager.
Yeah.
Because of the adventures he's gone through. He's gone into space, he's fought Thanos, all that other stuff. You're like, even though he's a kid, he acts too much like a kid.
Yeah.
I think. But here they these are kids, but they're not acting too that when it's an actual serious situation, they devise a plan to resolve it.
They're more mature than Spider-Man and his friends.
Well, I mean, that's the best way to put it, right? No, I mean, they look out for them when it's emotional. Like when it's kiddie stuff, they kind of act like immature, right? Like how she said her dad was humiliating her and stuff like that, right? But then when it comes to other stuff, it's just like that's that, and this is this. We've got to. This is a serious situation. We've got to be serious.
Yeah. She's got a better friend group.
Yeah. So they get rescued. They escape.
Yeah. And then this is when Kamala's nan tells her to come to Pakistan.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, she's going to Pakistan.
Yes.
And I thought she was sneaking there on her own until the next episode. Which makes sense.
You're right. Yeah, because I'm like, Kamala, you've got to come over here. And you're like, right, she's going to by herself, but no.
Yeah,
the whole fams goes over there. And,
Yeah, because she's still on a plane with her sloth teddy bear or whatever. And some guy goes, oh, this is the first time to Pakistan. She's like, how can you tell? Like, because you keep shaking.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah. And then her mum's like, oh, you actually do talk. And that's why I was like, oh, her mum did come over.
That's because someone saw Kamala pull the fire alarm and said to her mum that she pulled it. But then I think Natia said, oh, well, but you having your glasses on.
Oh, yeah. It's like, no. The other auntie's like, how can you tell that?
Yeah.
You even got your glasses on. I was like, that's fine.
That's true. Might not been her. But then her mum's like, it might have been her. So yeah.
Someone's kind of clocked on to her having bowels and stuff.
Well, her shady behavior.
Yeah.
Well, I say shady behavior, but sneaking out and stuff like that. So it's like just gives her more reason not to trust Kamala.
Yeah.
So the so the cousins are like, all right, well, Kamala will come out for a day with us. We'll have a look around Pakistan and whatever, right? But then they not allowed into a restaurant because Kamala's wearing jeans.
Yeah, she decided to wear jeans to like a super hot country. Yeah.
And she's not allowed to wear jeans there. All right, okay, the evil of jeans,
Oh no, it wasn't that. It was because it was too hot.
Okay, yeah. No, sorry, yeah.
That makes sense, yeah.
But then again, she's dressed completely different from everyone else. She's dressed American. Oh, no, like specific. She's just not
dressed Western.
Exactly. So she just basically goes around this, So they show her the city, but then she's like, you know what, I'm gonna go around here, have a look at some other places as well. And I'm like, first of all, why are you separating these people? You don't know where you are. But at the same time, you probably got Google Maps on your phone or whatever, so you work out where you need to go and all that stuff that you have for technology nowadays.
Yeah.
Fair enough. She heads for the train station because her grandmother was telling the stories of the the crystallized whatever that led her to the train that like when she got separated from her parents.
Yeah.
That allowed her to. She had to get the last train from Pakistan. Wait.
They took the last train from India to
Yeah.
Pakistan because this was during the partition where India got split into Pakistan and Bangladesh as well. Yeah.
So
Basically,
and then everyone thinks she's nuts because she's talking about bright lights and everything. Like, even though there's nothing else wrong with the lady, right? Not like she has Alzheimer's or like anything like that, right?
Yeah, dementia or anything like that. No.
No. She just said I saw some crystals when I was a kid, and everyone's like outcast.
She's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, but nothing else, by the way. Nothing.
You know what's funny about that? Yeah, they say, "Oh, she's crazy," but then they live in a world when Captain America's around at this point.
It's true. It is true.
You know what I mean? It's like, maybe she wasn't crazy. Yeah.
So Kamala puts on her. So her friend Bruno made her a mask.
Yeah.
To disguise herself because she can't go around wearing that Captain Marvel helmet all the time, right?
Yeah, because it's really obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, but then again, here's the mask that he made is like them domino masks that really don't cover anything.
They cover nothing. Yeah.
But you just allow it because it's superheroes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she puts it on. I mean, partially. I don't know if she puts it on for the jokes or the partially. She actually legit thinks it's going to disguise her, right? Because it's not exactly protective. No. But whatever, right? I mean, I'm like, yeah, okay, come on. I don't see why not at this point.
Yeah, knock yourself out, girl.
Yeah. She gets attacked by a. Well, he wears a mask and he looks a bit like the Shadow.
Yeah.
Well, no, he doesn't. He's like an Indian ninja, but not really.
Yeah.
He's got the face cloth that covers his face, and he attacks her, throwing his what's them Naruto
Shuriken things in it.
Yeah. And he throws one at her. I mean, she picks it up. She tries to throw it back at him. He just bounces on the floor. And he's like, "Come on, girl."
It's like, silly Americans.
Yeah. But it's quite a fun, silly fight. I mean, like, he's not actually trying to kill her or anything.
No.
He's just thinking that she's a threat.
Yeah.
And her powers, because she hasn't mastered them, are kind of used in a way that's comedically offensive. Not offensive, as in hurt your feelings.
It's defensive, but comes off because of like an inexperience comes off like offensive.
No, as in offense, as in trying to attack.
Yeah.
But then, then he sees the bangle and he goes, "How do you get this bangle?" And he goes, "How do you?" And then the Aisha, the grandmother's,
Yeah.
And then she's like, "How do you know Aisha?" And then they're like, "Well, now I guess we're friends, right? Because you're not one of the Dinge."
Yeah.
Sorry, the
Jinns.
Yeah. I don't know why I keep on saying it wrong for some reason. Because it's spelled that way. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Right? Anyways, and he's like, "Yep, come with me. I'm part of the Red Daggers. Yeah, let me explain to you what's going on here." So there's two different realms where the one where the Jinn come from, one where we are. And their dimension is you can't access it unless you've got a bangle or like you can see it, right?
Yeah.
The is veiled, yeah.
Yeah.
And the clandestines, that's what they're called.
Yes.
They want to open the veil and invade the world. Exactly, unleash their world onto Earth.
Yeah.
So like right.
Okay.
Yeah. Forgot to mention, by the way, that the mother. So that's how they escape. Damage control coming, and basically, at the end of the wedding, when Kamala pulled the fire alarm, damage control came there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they got away. Because at this point,
that's how they captured the Jinns. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
and then the Jinn break out.
Yeah.
And then the mother says, "Yo, Cameron, what's his name? Cameron.
Yeah.
Cameraman.
We call him Cameron. Yeah.
Cameron. You're no longer part of this family because you warned Kamala." He's like,
Yeah.
"What?" then I just help you escape. Yeah, but you're injured as well now, and we can't trust you. So basically leaves him while he's injured.
Yeah.
Partly through a door. Not like, he's just kind of hanging outside the door. Not, that it's like, right? What do I? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what do I do?
Yeah, exactly. So
they
break up. Yeah. So Kamala's now hanging out with the Red Daggers, which are all teenagers like her. But she's having a fun time.
Yeah, it's pretty cool bit. I like that part.
Yeah. Yeah, she was asking if the curry was hot. And then they're like, the joke's not mocking her, but they're like, they're just like, oh, you are this girl. She's just a joker. Look at that, asking if it's hot. Come on.
She's so Western.
Yeah, exactly. But she like joking with them as well. So it's not as if they like
take offense to her or anything like that.
Exactly. Yeah. So when she comes back, Kamala's mother's having a go at her, saying, "You're just a daydreamer." I want to say she didn't really cut promo because I'm about to cut promo. You're gonna amount to nothing. You're gonna be like, blah blah blah. Look what they said about your my mum, who's your grandma. They that's what you're gonna end up as and stuff like that. Even though she didn't say it like that, then that made it sound so much more crueler than she did. She was just like, Kamala, you got to get your act together. You can't always be like this. Yeah. So that's that I have to say that kind of like was like, that's what I was saying about before the Little Mermaids is like, if you're of a certain age, you'd be like, oh, the mum's being out of order.
Yeah.
But then when you're over a certain age, you're like, mum's just trying here.
Yeah, she's trying to help.
She can only see when Kamala's around her and how she behaves then.
Yeah.
You can't. She's obviously not seeing Kamala being super heroic. So she's based on decisions on the evidence that she does see. So
which makes sense.
Yeah.
Can't knock her for it, really.
Yeah. So it's like, And then she's like, well, I need my mother at some point. But she was crazy talking about her crystals, so
That's
leave
him alone.
Yeah. So she goes back to spend some more time with them Red Daggers, so they can tell her what's like, help her with her powers. And the Red Daggers master is there, and then I think so. Then Cameron's mum and the Jinn start attacking.
Yeah. Start fighting in the middle of the streets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. These people, I don't want to say they have no shame, but it's just like, come on, there's probably time. No, but to be fair, they attacked him in his I don't want to say the mosque area, but his base, right?
Yeah.
Where everyone's at. So you're like, all right, well, if they're there trying to stop me and they've got the thing that I'm after, fight here, fine, right? But if we're gonna leave here, I'm still gonna go after it. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. And then they cause they cause a little bit of havoc on the streets of Pakistan.
Yeah.
Kamala has to make, like, they're about to the evil. They've got their tuk. Like,
that's good.
The bad guy's got a tuk rammed, like they rammed into the side of it, so he's going forward. And Kamala's gonna make a ramp, like on one side, and then she pushes off on another side. So the tuk clears the ramp, but the villains drive up like one side of it and they flip into some buildings.
Yeah.
But like at least the kids are saved. The kids that were just gonna get run over because evil people do evil things, right?
Evil things, yeah.
Yeah. And then they chase them further to a certain point.
Yeah.
And they have a decent fight there as well.
Yeah, man, that little fight in that little circle roomish thing.
It's like a dead end sort of area.
Yeah.
I want to say it was like one of them where you have not that update to have, but it's like a cordoned off area of it would be flats, but not really.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
So they had nowhere to run. It's the exit was where they came in from.
Yeah.
So they have a good little tussle in there. It was quite fun. Because you're like, now you got ninjas fighting.
Yeah.
And superpowered people with weapons and whatnot.
Yeah.
So the mother tries to stab Kamala, and Kamala used the bangle to block it, and then boom, she's thrown into she sees this train coming at her, and she kind of rolls out the tracks, and you see it's way back in the 1942,
1941, I think it is.
Wait, it was well, way back
in 1942,
right?
1942,
yeah. And at this point, by the way, I was like, I know what's coming next. I know exactly what's going to come next.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've shown how Kamala's grandmother's parents met.
Yeah. We also forgot to say, just before this is when Kamala's mum gives her life to close the portal. Or was that afterwards?
That's after.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think she comes back, right?
Wait.
Yeah, I'm sure she comes back first. Then she closes the pool.
Yes, you are right, my friend. Yes.
Yeah, because she stabs her, and that's when Kamala walks away.
Yeah.
I mean, she stabbed the bangle.
Yeah.
So we see that, and turns out the great grandmother was a Jinn as well.
Yeah.
And then actually, this story, this particular episode, actually fills in a lot of backstory.
Yeah.
And it's quite a nice story of how these people, the great grandmother and great grandfather kind of became a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they were going to obviously our petition is happening and stuff. They have to get on the last train.
Yeah.
But the grandmother the little kid when she's a kid, she gets separated from her dad.
Her dad, yeah.
No. She's with her mother. Mother goes off.
Yeah.
So she's with her dad, but she gets separated from that. And the reason mother went off is because she see her sister. No, it's not her sister. Her fellow Jin, right?
Yeah, her fellow Jin. Which is
Cameron's mother tracking them down.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yep. So you got to give me that bangle, or things ain't gonna end up well for you." And she's like, "I left the bangle elsewhere. You're never gonna get it." I think she left it with her husband or packed it away or wherever, right?
Yeah, with the husband, yeah.
And then Cameron's mum's like, "Well, how about this, Shank?"
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
okay. And then and that's where Kamala Khan steps out of the tracks.
Yeah.
She's like, "What's this? What's going on here? What's going on here?" Sees the great grandmother dying.
Yeah.
And she goes, "How can I help? Should I help you? How can I help you? How can I, She goes, "No." And then she sees the bangle, goes, "The fact that you're here means everything goes well. You don't worry about nothing."
Yeah.
Right. Because you being alive means what happens. And it's good. Right. But then I'm like, hold on a minute. But you don't know exactly what happened. What Kamala. Okay, fair enough. She did run up to help you. Yeah. But anything you don't know in that situation. She could have been just she could have stole someone's wallet previous to that, and she just happened to see someone dying and go, "All right, well maybe I'll pick their pocket." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or her Jinn power or something.
Yeah.
Could be she senses the good in people. It's like, I knew he was gonna save me because blah.
Or at least attempt to save me. I'm just saying she kind of made an assumption right off, which was correct as well. But at the same time, you're
from that,
yeah. So, and then she's like, look after my child or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so Kamala's like, right, I gotta find that kid then, who's crying in the crowd, who she does find, right?
Yeah.
And I think so, but there's so many hustle and bustle. Kamala gets knocked over as well. And then she has to create little. She has to create these step platform things for to guide the girl back to her dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Oh, it was me all along, Austin." No, but this is where I was like, oh, "Okay, well, as soon as when this episode started, and when she got at the end of the previous episode, when she got sent back in time, or when the visions of the train was first happening, I was like, is it going to be her?" And I was kind of hoping it wasn't, because then it just ties together too neatly.
Yeah.
I thought there's something with the train, maybe if she was getting attacked or something like that, and she sees like the pool starts opening more, but then she sees what she's meant to do, and she doesn't do it in the past because you're like, how does this bracelet teleport people through time or something like that? You know, I've heard unanswered questions. But if the pool's opening around her, she sees it. I don't know. I'm just saying there's probably maybe other ways to do it that would have been not like randomly come out of nowhere powers. They do say. I mean, open dimensions fine, but yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so she teleports back. She rescues her grandmother when she was a kid, followed the light, whatever. Yeah, and she comes back and she basically says to Cameron's mom, "Look, what's gonna happen? Look, I was told by the Red Daggers, you're gonna destroy the world if you do that, right?
Yeah.
You want to go back. The Jinn want to invade. So we're there's no two ways about it." And then I think so when her gym friends try to go through the pool, they get
just liquid, turns into a skeleton and it's falling apart.
Yeah. So then she's like, Kamala, go. Right, I'm gonna do a face turn. Kamala, go. I'll do what I can to hold this back, even though she can't do much. And when she dies, she kind of like, it sounds like her soul floats over to her son.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing it's her abilities.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Because he was having trouble afterwards, and I don't know if it's like, because she was corrupting. I don't know. But I after I watched it, I was like, okay, so I guess I assume what happened is she tried to put the pool opened, and kind of like she tried to give her powers to her son, but I think he got corrupted on the way to him, because she went in contact with the portal.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, it kind of corrupted it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but as all this is happening, Kamala's mom's like, "I gotta find my Kamala's not come back yet. We're gonna find her." Kamala will have her phone with her. So I tell you what we'll do. We'll do track my phone, and then we'll find where Kamala is. Yeah.
Yeah.
The mom appears just as the pool starts closing.
Yeah.
And Kamala holding it back, and they're like, "What?
Sure."
Yeah. Yeah. So the mother's like, all this time, I was calling my mother a nutter, but it's true all along. I'm so sorry, Mobs. I'm sorry. And they're looking at like scrapbook photos and stuff like that, photo albums of the mother when she was a teenager, and I was like, yeah. I mean, fair enough. Everyone wanted to be like, when you're a teenager, you always got those. Some of them are unreachable dreams, right?
Yeah.
She wanted to run off and meet Bon Jovi
and
or something.
Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
Bon Jovi. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool though because they kind of make reference at the beginning of the show as well with her mum.
With Brown Jovi, yep.
Yeah.
The Indian cover.
The cover band at the brother's wedding. Yeah. Brown Jovi.
Yeah. So kind of like, now we're as Vin Diesel would say, as Don Vito would say, we're family now. Yeah. Cameron's still back in the US, meets Bruno, and says, "Look, I need your help." And Bruno's like, "Yeah, but my name is Bruno, not Brian." He goes, yeah. All this time, I genuinely thought you were called Brian.
Yeah, I like that bit. I was like, it wasn't.
Sorry, mate. Sorry. And then one of the what is it called? Damage control drones.
Yeah.
Spies him out and starts attacking because when you see a injured brown man walking into a closed shop, you're just gonna bomb it down for no reason.
For reasons, to save people by killing more people.
Yeah.
Broken logic.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like they made us dislike that the damage control lady pretty well.
Yeah.
She's like, you know what, Cameron, that dude, something wrong with him. Let's get him good, right?
Yeah.
But they escape. Back in the US now, Kamala, she's like, I've got something to tell you. To her parents, yeah, and her brother and his bride and her mum, yeah. And like, go on, and then and then their dad's like, I know the brother popped on. He says, yeah, you're the nightlight girl. And she said, what? And then
no, because they're like, oh no, really, you're her? And they're like, what? Oh no, the brother didn't know. Oh, how that was weird because
because the mother already told him.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. Because it's
the mum told the dad, and the dad, because he always has his phone on loudspeaker, the brother overheard.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. But I like it because it's like, it's different from all these other things where it's like trying to hide their identity and stuff like that. Because they are like a family that gets along but doesn't always get along as a normal family does, right?
Yeah.
But they trust each other enough for this sort of thing.
Yeah, which is cool.
And they're looking after each other in a way, you know, because he's a teenage kid after all, and they like, you don't have overbearing parents. At the same time, their parents know, look, if she wants to do something, we can't really stop her.
Yeah.
So we've got to give her the respect.
Might be on board with it, and then
if we respect her, she'll respect us, sort of thing. So I like that. I mean, like, it was cool.
Yeah. That's like one of the kind of things I liked when in these versions of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Aunt May knew, not straight away, but she kind of knew from the second film onwards. So I thought, it kind of makes it easier that way for films.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to have these weird logic jumps for her not to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A bit like how Man of Steel did it, where they just didn't even do
it. yeah, exactly. It's easier that way.
Anyways, So, but Kamala then received a phone call from Bruno.
Okay, right. Bruno.
Yeah, that Cameron's needs your help. Damage Control's after us. Kamala's like, all right, I tell you what, got a plan. Let's go to the school.
First they go to the mosque. School. Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, right. They go to the mosque.
Bruno takes him to the mosque. Yeah. And Nikita's like, why are you bringing him here for? Like, because of Ridge Place, you know, you got to give people sanctuary. And he's like, but people already have a weird thing towards mosques and stuff, so they're gonna come here straight away. So why you think to school? It's gonna be empty. He's like, didn't think of that.
Yeah. And this is where her friend Nakia, who was kind of not beefing her, but not really, just like, I tell you everything, Kamala, you didn't tell me this, even though Kamala did try to tell her, but they got distracted at a certain point.
Yeah.
But they're like, but like at the end of the day, we're all friends. So let's
And another thing I like about that, it was like, okay, I get over it, we're friends, carry on. Other heroes and stuff has happened to, it's became their friends, like, super villain origin story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why do you tell me? I hate you now. I'm like, we're best friends to this point. Oh,
to be fair, this happened all like in a matter of days. And Bruno knew because Bruno, he was there when it started, so he's not like as if you could hide it from him. She didn't have the opportunity to tell Nakia because of other things. That's all.
Yeah.
And she did try.
Yeah.
But when you got, how long do you reckon this takes place? Like a week?
Say about that. Yeah, about a week.
Yeah. So she found her pals, go to Avengers Con.
Yeah.
Rescue the kid. Or have a wedding.
Yeah.
Go to India, come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a lot of time to tell anyone anything.
No, not really. Especially it's like literally like go. Yeah. It's not really time for her to tell anyone anything. No.
Yeah. So they go to the school. They're like, all right, well, so this actually. Oh no, this before she goes, the mum's like, I made you a costume, right?
Yeah.
This is her Ms. Marvel costume. Somehow, very good looking cosplay. Well, not even cosplay. It's actually a professional looking costume. We're like, what? But you made that Hulk costume with stuffed pillows inside it before to bulk up muscle, and all of a sudden you've got these knitting abilities that come out of nowhere with this, the textured costume and stuff like that. Right? Okay.
Maybe because she thought because remember there's going on the cons are sort of thing. She maybe thought it was like a weird costume party. That's why she made it to be funny.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, I could. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, she probably like decided. Oh, you know what? My daughter's. I have to look at the interests of my daughter as well, and then I'll make a costume and stuff like that. I don't know, but it's just like, you know what? How Spider-Man can somehow miraculously make a professional-looking costume out of nowhere. So whatever. Yeah. I mean, this is one of those things where you're like, all right, we just
take it.
They can done.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Yeah. So she's like, they're walking in the school. They're talking about their plan, and then we all know what we're gonna do. Yeah. And Zoe pops out of nowhere and says, yeah. Great plan. I'll help you guys too. And they're like, what are you talking about? She goes, oh yeah, I heard everything because I was in that room over there.
Yeah.
And she goes, what are you doing in school on a Saturday? Oh, it has good lighting in the music room. So yeah.
That's how I do my TikToks. Like, oh.
Yeah. Exactly.
Break an entry.
Yeah. But we're all friends. We're all friends. Come on, we're all good. And they're like, actually, you know what? You'd be very useful because the what's it called? Damage control are after us, and you are TikTok star or social media star.
Yeah.
And what you got to do is lay out to all your followers. They've got us trapped here in the school, these powered beings or whatever.
Yeah.
But we haven't done anything wrong. In fact, we're Nightlight. We rescued the kid from the building and the Comic-Con and stuff like that. And so she sends out the message, and I'm like, and I see some of the people, when you see some of the faces that are watching her social media account. This is a 16-year-old, and you're like, what are they fully grown men?
Yeah, I felt kind of creeped out by that. I was like,
dumb, fully grown men. I'm like, what are you watching a 16-year-old TikTok for?
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they put as much thought as it.
No.
But yeah.
I like to think they're following her because at all innocence, whatever. But because we know how the world is.
No, but I would also say it's one of those things where, depending on what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
If her TikToks are about, let's say, the Avengers Con or stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
If most of her stuff is about stuff that's a general interest thing, fair enough. But they don't actually say what it's about.
No.
Like her partying and stuff like that, when she's talking about it, makes it sound like it's just about her.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it might be. But
but then that's what makes it creepy.
Yeah.
Like, and especially the Captain Marvel costume she was wearing, which was basically a swimsuit.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly. Yeah. I mean, but we will speak no further.
We'll go on from that. Yeah.
So, the drones start attacking. The dude from Spider-Man No Way Home, the FBI agent, agent, right? The damage control agent, like, what are you doing? You need to stand down.
Yeah.
And the agent Diva's like, no, we got these. Look, right? They're brown people, right?
Yeah. They must be evil.
Yeah, exactly. That's essentially what it is.
Yeah, basically.
That's what it comes across as.
Because dude's like, these are kids. We can't be doing this. Like, but they're evil. Well, she doesn't say exactly that, but she's like, but we've got them cornered. We've got to take this chance.
Yeah.
Like,
They say it enough without having to say it. That's what. Like, it's written well enough that it's clear.
Yeah.
When you read enough between the lines, right?
Yeah.
But it could also be that she's just too dedicated and stubborn, right?
Yeah.
But I think we're
yeah. You can take it either way, but
it leads more one way than the other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So So they want to allow Cameron to escape.
Yeah.
Kamala's like calling her Red Dagger friend.
Yeah.
And just saying, look, I'm going to send someone to you. If you can you save them, and then can you get them away from out here? Yeah. And they're like, yeah, if you get to a certain point, like midnight.
If you get to the docks by midnight, there'll be
yeah.
someone waiting to take him to Pakistan. Yeah.
Exactly. So so that's what they basically just got to survive the attacks from the drone, but it's not
basically,
really. But Cameron's like, no, it's you know what? It's too late. I'm gonna fight them because they're trying to kill me. And
then I think at this point, this is when Kamala's brother shows up.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah, just before while they're doing the plan,
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
He's like, what are you doing? He goes, I did go to high school here too, you know. Like,
oh, yeah. yeah.
Silly
So,
man.
yeah.
Oh, he's
They,
the best.
yeah. So they the damage controls surrounding the building. They're telling everyone to stand down.
Yeah.
They're telling Kamala and her friends to stand down, get Cameron out of here, and we can arrest him. They're like, no, and So Cameron then learns that his mother died.
Yeah.
So Kamala basically says to him, look, don't do this. Your mother died to save you. And he's like, what? And he kind of rages out, attacks her.
Yeah.
And then he attacks her, and he's got the crystal powers now as well.
Yeah.
And then he starts attacking all damage control as well. So it's like, Agent Diva, you caused yourself problems now.
Yep.
Right? Because you basically prodded this guy, and now he found out something else, and he's going to take out frustrations on you. And then Kamala's going to try and save you people, and you're still trying to shoot her. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, they get all their all Zoe's followers, seeing them, seeing how outward the damage control is, and Cameron's blasting his powers out of nowhere, and he can't control it. And Kamala Khan is like saving them, and saving this, taking care of damage control, doing a lot of things, by the way, right?
Yeah.
And then she basically encases herself and Cameron around, because I thought they were gonna have a final fight between themselves, but I was like, that's kind of a bit stereotypical.
Yeah.
Especially since he would blame her for his mother's death. I mean, it could have been, right? Even though she kind of didn't really have anything to do with it. I mean, she was there, but her mother calls it. You know how sometimes the villain stories go. You know, the villain logic doesn't. But no, this was like, she was like, no, Cameron, you gotta control that. You gotta control yourself, right?
Yeah.
All right. You're endangering everyone here, and you're just gonna prove them right, right? All you want to do is escape, yeah. So let's concentrate on that.
Yeah.
And he starts all the stuff that's like spiking out, like the crystallized stuff that's all spiking out the ground and stuff like that, start forming away, and he breaks the ground so he can escape. And he said thank you to Kamala, and Kamala's like, yeah, you know, we're good. You just take care of yourself right now.
Get to the docks.
Yeah. Come on. So then they do. She gets away from damage control, and she runs off on her thingamajig again, and all the crowd. The crowd comes to surround the her dome that she made. So damage control can't start firing at it and stuff like that. Cameron gets away in the tunnel he's made, and she gets away in the jumping platform things.
After all the crowd and that, like.
Yeah. And they're like, You go, girl.
Yeah.
And I believe this is where Zoe's like on a is it Zoe on a TikTok? Yeah. Zoe's like, so we help save these people, blah blah blah. Not big enough herself, but just damage control is out of order. They almost killed us and stuff, but we're Nightlight is great. Saved us all. Then you see that FBI agent from No Way Home relieving Agent Diva of her duties. And
saying you got a head start, but basically you're fired.
Yeah.
And
then Bruno is in Pakistan now, going into one of the shops areas, or whatever, the hideout, the Red Dagger hideouts. And you see the Red Dagger guy that Kamala met way back in India. And they're like, okay, we're gonna help you, mate. And then you see Kamala sitting on the lamppost, like on the Ms. Marvel cover, and I was like, it's kind of neat. And I tell you what's also kind of funny, I believe, where she gets off the pole, she turns around, and she kind of steps away, but you don't really see it, so they don't need to use the special effects. Sometimes in this stuff where they're doing angles where you don't need to see the special effects. And that actually is quite good because you see the light flash, right, of wherever it is going to be, but you don't actually need to see the what they're doing themselves because it's all it takes up money and time at the end of the day for good special effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's that. Power friendship,
Yeah, friendship saves everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, and then at the very end, Kamala's like in a Ms. Marvel costume.
Oh wait. I was just a random fact.
Yeah.
There's a bit at the end where there's a lot of TikTok videos, people saying, how great Miss Marvel is, but I call her Miss Marvel. And then one of the people in that video is actually the creator of Miss Marvel, G.W. Wilson?
Oh, right.
I think that's her name. Yeah. I feel bad for not knowing that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And another thing as well, which is explained.
Yeah.
Right? So early on in the thingamajig, in the series, they're like, Kamala's not even a Pakistani name.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then her dad explains to her at the very end of the episode, before the end credits.
Yeah.
Essentially, we called you Kamala because it's a Arabian name.
Yeah. Because we was trying so hard to have another child, and you being born was a marvel. Yeah, something
like a miracle. Would you say a marvel?
Yeah.
Miss Marvel, and then that's credits roll.
That's my name.
I was like, but it makes sense. The way it's not super contrived.
No.
It kind of just if they say it translates to that, it's fair enough,
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she at the very end, mid credit, she is in her Miss Marvel costume, and the bracelet lights up. And then basically...
Oh, we forgot
the
one before that, where her, Bruno, and Nakia meet up.
before
Bruno goes to California because he got accepted to Caltech University, which we forgot to say at the beginning. Yeah, and then...
And they're driving around Bruno's car because he's no longer in the US.
Oh, not Bruno's car.
Cameron's car.
Cameron's car, because he's no longer in the US. So he, quote-unquote, gave his car to... Bruno, and Nakia's like, nah, I'm the only one really can drive, so it's mine. It's like, And then she's like, by the way, Kamala, I took a look at your DNA, and there's something different about it. So I checked all your family's DNA, and it's not the same. And it's like, what do you mean by that? It's like, oh, well, I found something like a mutation. Wink, wink.
No. That actually plays as well.
Does it?
Yeah, didn't you hear it?
No.
Oh my goodness, how did you miss it? Okay, so the reason I realized the X-Men theme song was playing, right? The X-Men 90, is because the music is it's kind of slow.
Yeah.
Right? Build up to the tension. And then it suddenly plays the X-Men theme for that little sequence. You know how X-Men theme is pretty speedy, right?
Yeah.
And then afterwards, it goes back to slow. I was like, that seems out of place. Let me rewind it. Then I hear what I heard.
Oh, okay.
And so when you'll hear it, when you play it back and you're looking out for it. I wasn't looking out for it, but I was just like, mutation, and then I was like, wait a minute, where's this going? Am I to look out for something?
Oh, I'll get onto my thoughts about that later. But and then the post-credit sequence.
Yeah, it's where her bangle lights up, then it just basically warps it into a wardrobe.
Yeah.
Smashes it into a wardrobe, yeah? And then Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, steps out and goes, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then she sees all the pictures of herself everywhere, because that's Marla's run. And I know she's freaked out. At the same time, it's like, she would probably come from a battle or something somewhere. And she's like, I'm teleported into a kid's room. What happened to the kid that was in this room?
Yeah, that kid's probably dead.
yeah. But that's how that ends. But you were saying about... You're saying about the mutation.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this.
Okay. As in, you think it's shoehorned or?
Kind of. Right. Like, if they want, they can easily just say, yeah, she's an Inhuman, because you know. But as they're kind of trying to go on Inhumans never happened now, it seems kind of weird to just make her a mutant.
I don't know. We'll see what they
We'll see where it goes.
But you know, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe it's the powers. Maybe she just happened to have the powers while the bangle's on, or does it allow her act like did the bangle only open up the portals and stuff like, you know? There's a couple of possibilities that it could go to.
I can understand like maybe like the bangle awaken her quote unquote X gene.
Yeah.
But I still find it a bit. You could just say she's an Inhuman like she is in the comics, which they're probably going to change now to make her a mutant. But
yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see how that goes along. Maybe they're just not gonna. Maybe they're just gonna we don't need to give an explanation.
No.
I mean, like her powers came from the bangle. Bam, done.
Yeah. Or you can even just say, you know, that bangle has something to do with like Terrigen crap in it or whatever.
Like the bangle. Yeah, I don't know. They've got options. We'll see how that works out in the Marvels movie.
Because either way, if they want to say she got rid of the bangle, they can always use that as accelerate her whatever gene it is. Yeah. And then she can have either they give her stretchy powers or they can keep her with the light stuff, you know.
Yeah.
As she did say her catchphrase in Big 'Un when she kind of got taller, you stretchy limb stuff. So, yeah, cool.
I have to say, now you probably know this character from X-Men.
Yeah.
Armor, you know who she is?
Palmer.
Armor.
Oh yeah, Armor. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this Miss Marvel's powers are very in this series very similar to Armor's powers. Fair enough though. If you're not going to use Armor, like as a character, you know, tweak her powers. Fair enough, and give them to Miss Marvel. I mean, I'm not saying it's outright rip or whatever, but you get more flexibility to do stuff, certain things. Yes, she
like
can.
you said, they've kind of changed it because she can like do projectile, well not armor, but Kamala can do like projectiles with it and all that stuff. Armor doesn't really do that. She just like makes light into solid armor.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So it makes
But then Kamala doesn't do like I like how they basically made those stretchy powers, but using the crystal thing.
Yeah.
So it can do that, and it can do other things like Shang-Chi's 10 rings, where he never had the 10 rings in the comics, but you know.
Well,
something,
now,
but something just give them more allowance to do certain other things later on for their stories.
Yeah, I'm cool.
But overall, I thought, you know what? I mean, I think each episode was roughly 40 minutes.
Yeah. I think the longest might have been the last one, but other than that, they were like 40 minutes.
Yeah, because they were like an hour long, but they're really, you know, when you got to end credits and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I thought it breezed by pretty quickly.
Yeah. Pretty good. Like I said, I really liked it.
Yeah.
It hit me in some emotional parts. Like, I did like the ending with her dad and her sitting on a bridge. Not on the bridge, outside her window. I was like,
on the rooftop. Exactly. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I mean, does this more intrigue you more to watch the Marvels?
Yeah, intrigued me to watch the Marvels. I'm looking forward to that next year.
I'm wanted to see interactions between Captain Marvel and Ms. Marvel, because Ms. Marvel obviously much more of a
street level hero.
Well, no, the personalities are different.
Yeah.
A lot different. You've seen, Captain Marvel's like, I've been there, I've done that. I'm an army person, right?
Yeah.
When stuff goes down, I'm here to, deal with it, right?
Yeah.
And then you got Kamala Khan, who's just like your average teenage kid who talks a lot.
Yeah.
Well, they're not really out of these situations. So that should be fun.
Yeah, should be really good.
Yeah. Any other comments you want to make?
No, just very interested to see where it goes.
Yeah. I mean, like, would you say you were the crowd they were aiming? Well, okay, look, at the end of the day, it's a very good story, right? Nice. So, and all stories, like, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. You might not be the people that aimed at, because it's more like teenage kids. But then again, Spider-Man's teenage kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like that.
I'm not Muslim. I'm not a brown little girl either, but I liked it. So
I liked it, and like I was saying to one of my friends as well, I was kind of cool because I know a lot about Muslim culture and stuff because I have a lot of Muslim friends, but it was good to see that portrayed on TV in like a positive light rather than when you get things like 24 where all the Muslims are terrorists and that rubbish.
Oh yeah, like Homeland, right?
Yeah. So it's kind of good to see like the good parts of Islam and like on TV.
And then you see the flip side, by the way, of Asian Diva. Like everyone else is, no, they just because of who they are and who they worship or wear that.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's a racist. She was a religious. She was a whatever. But it's just like maybe she hates women. Maybe she hates teenage girls as well. We're gonna throw it all out there.
Maybe she just hates everyone. You know.
Exactly. I mean, what is exactly her hatred? I don't know.
No, never explained. Don't need to.
It's a massive checklist of stuff that it could possibly be, though.
Yeah. Maybe she dated a Muslim guy and then he didn't call her
exactly.
Now she has like hatred between. Yeah.
Or maybe she dated a Muslim lady and then she can hate women as well.
Yeah. See, there you go. Or maybe on the train in New York, someone stole her sandwich and she
took her seat as well while she's chasing the other guy for a sandwich. Yeah.
I want to see her backstory.
I laugh if it's something minor, like you're saying, right? When she was in the park when she was a little baby.
Yeah.
Like the Muslim man set her to the side because he was praying or something like that.
Yeah.
She actually stepped on his headgear, and and now because he's dead, he was trying to get his head up, and then because her feet were on it, basically he pulled her up and flipped her over because. Yeah. Dude's going up though, so he doesn't know, right?
Yeah.
And now that's her villain origin story.
Yeah. Or she was in a hospital and the couple, when she was born, the baby next to her happened to be Muslim. It cried.
Yeah.
Stupid backstories. That's still one of the worst reasons to hate someone in any form of media, if I'm honest. I don't care what anyone says. I'm so glad they retconned that, but
yeah. All right. Yeah, so that's us signing off.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm the person with the name of a miracle, Siwai-chan.
And I am the guy who went back in time to save his own grandmother to not cause a time paradox. Carl Charles. Paradox. And thank you for listening to us review Miss Marvel. Let us know what you think about Miss Marvel, and you could do that by contacting us on our Instagram or our Twitter, which is all in the description down below if you're listening to this on a podcast thing. Or if you're watching on YouTube, yes, in the description down below. Who was your favourite character in it? Did you like seeing Muslims portrayed in a good light, like I was? Do you think that lady was racist as well?
No, but not apparently. Well, it was written enough of a way that you took those vibes without actually having to say it, though.
Yeah. Was she written well enough to be like an undercover racist?
Yeah. That's the best way to put it, right?
Best way to put it. Are you looking forward to seeing Kamala in her next adventure, The Marvels? And how do you feel about her now apparently being a mutant rather than a human? Let us know.
Did you catch the X-Men 92 theme song, which Carl didn't?
I didn't, which makes no sense because I'm the hugest X-Men fan ever. And I don't know how I didn't clock that at all. Which I'm going to actually watch in a minute to see if I actually do see it.
Yeah. So maybe I was hearing things, but I don't think I was.
I don't think you was. I think I was just being stupid. Yeah, just let us know.
No, you was being sour when you heard music. You were like, oh.
That's probably what it was, I'm not gonna lie.
You groaned so hard that you missed the theme song.
Yeah, I was like, I just missed it. Yeah. So yeah, just let us know and catch us next time on Trip Around the Multiverse. Bye.
Okay, so I went back and looked at your genetic makeup again.
No. You can call me when you're bored.
No. Amir kept asking if he might have powers too. And I think we might have had it wrong the first time around.
What do you mean?
So we know why you have access to the Nor and how you can wield it. But when I compared you to the rest of your family, something still seemed off.
Okay.
Kamala, there's something different in your genes. Like a mutation.
Whatever it is, it's just gonna be another label.